Please be seated. Every summer at my cottage, my family and I have a euchre tournament. The main objective of this card game is to trump the opposing team's cards with the cards that you have in your own hand. To be honest, I have always struggled while playing euchre. I constantly ask, wait, what happens if I play this card? Or, what suit is trump again? And these constant clarifications resulted in absolute disgust from my brother, Cooper, and obviously of table talk, which is an absolute sin in the game of euchre. Despite winning one tournament and being labeled euchre god, I never really understood how the game truly worked. I just played. While reading a book called The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch this summer, I came across this quote: "We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand." Initially, I took this quote quite literally and attempted once again to truly understand the game of euchre. But upon further reflection at the book and at the quote, I realized that it was talking about more than just cards. It was stating that in life there are many challenges that you cannot control, but it is the way in which you react to these adverse situations that truly defines your character. Imagine being imprisoned in a damp concrete cell for more than 27 years for fighting for human rights. Imagine losing your leg due to osteosarcoma, a rare and aggressive type of bone cancer. And imagine the unthinkable, being assaulted on your way to school for simply being a girl. Nelson Mandela, Terry Fox, and Malala Yousafzai, the individuals I've just described, have all had to overcome potentially devastating situations in their own lives. Through their resilience and determination, they created positive outcomes, not only for themselves, but for the world around them. Nelson Mandela became the first Black president in South Africa, ending apartheid. Even after his death, Mandela is still known around the world as an activist for change. Terry Fox ran across Canada with an amputated leg to raise money and awareness for cancer research. His legacy now lives on in the annual Terry Fox Walk, which has raised over $650 million for cancer research to date. And Malala Yousafzai persevered and kept fearlessly promoting the importance of education for young girls in Pakistan. And this past month, she was the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize ever. She continues to fight for worldwide access to education. All of these remarkable individuals chose to respond positively and passionately to the struggles that they faced, and thereby changing the world around them. We are very fortunate that here at Appleby, we have the opportunity to affect the lives of so many. For instance, you can serve a hot breakfast that includes a Mickey Mouse waffle and a yogurt tube to the elementary school children at the Oakwood Breakfast Program. You can also brighten up someone's day at Sunrise, the assisted living seniors home in Oakville, or even share a laugh with a charismatic individual from community living. In addition, if you are so inclined, you might even have the amazing opportunity to go on a service trip, where you not only impact others' lives, but your own as well. Through service, everyone has the ability to be selfless and compassionate in their own personal way. Last year, I had the pleasure of traveling to Peru during the March break on an international service trip. Now, I'm going to be honest. Before the trip, I had many thoughts and ideas bouncing around in my mind. I was scared about the effects of altitude sickness, the living environment, and fearful of their international cuisine, the cuy, aka guinea pig. And more importantly, I was not sure if our 2-week trip would truly make an impact on someone else's life. But I soon realized that service is not about changing someone's way of life or imposing your beliefs on a community. It is more about challenging our own assumptions and making true human connections. In Peru, we saw hope and true happiness, despite the lack of many basic human needs. And this was a huge reminder that we should not get caught up in the negative or overwhelming challenges that we face, but focus more on the positive impact that we can make. And I learned this from a woman named Ernestina, a local Peruvian who worked with us and the organization that we helped, Pro World Peru. Our group had the pleasure of working with her to help install water filters into the homes of the many citizens in Urubamba, the small town that we stayed in. And despite her lack of any English, well, a small bit, and my Dora the Explorer Spanish skills, we became friends quite quickly. We talked about our families, our different cultures, and she even taught me some useful Spanish words. I made a true connection with her, and we continue to keep in touch through Facebook once in a while. And the so-called challenge, the language barrier, did not keep us from bonding. It only encouraged us to try harder to communicate well. And not only did I make new connections with others in Peru, I even made new friendships with the individuals from Appleby. Although we all knew each other from school, some of us had not really been great friends before the trip. But when we were in Peru, the atmosphere brought us together. During debrief sessions, we would talk about how the day went, our thoughts on our progress as a team, and some of the challenges that we were all facing. The challenges, although very difficult, ended up bringing us all together. And the positive outcome was friendship. I learned from Peru that service is not about drastically changing other people's lives. It is truly about putting in effort to create positive human connections. And it is through those human connections that we can learn the most about ourselves and the world around us. Now, not only can you impact others on an international level, such as on a service trip, as I just explained, but you can impact someone locally through many of the wonderful service clubs and co-curriculars that we have here at Appleby. The co-curricular community living is one of the most amazing ways to positively impact those who feel somewhat isolated in their own community. It shows how any act of kindness is very powerful. Even opening a door for someone, helping someone study, or even just engaging in a casual conversation can affect someone in a positive way. Throughout our lives, we will always be confronted with obstacles. While I highlighted the struggles and the accomplishments of many global figures, whatever challenges you face on a personal level can create opportunities for you to expand your true character. We all try to plan our lives out: university, schooling, careers, life paths. But sometimes we just have to remember that not everything is always going to be perfectly laid out. Reflect back on this quote from the last lecture. We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand. The most exciting part about life is that you never know the cards you could be dealt next. But just remember, it is the way you decide to play the hand that truly matters. Now will you all please rise and sing hymn 460. Oh, good job. Is it okay? Was I looking too much at my paper? Okay. I'm shaking. Love is shining in the midst of this darkness, shining. Jesus, light.